Okay, yeah. First of all, man, just very exciting to get a win. We feel like we've been through so much just really in the last couple of weeks. And to come out here and play like we did, particularly defensively, what an awesome performance by our defensive guys. Our defensive staff did a tremendous job this week. It's the best week of practice we've had defensively since we've been here. We didn't know how we were going to come out here and play tonight, but based off of what they did this week, I thought they were going to play well. And to come out and to shut a team out, I think this is our first shutout to a Power 5 team since '04. Tremendous job by those guys. Created turnovers, great on third down. I think their first third down they got was the very last one in the fourth quarter there. So, just can't say enough about good things about those guys. Offensively, solid performance. Obviously the turnovers were not good tonight. But we were able to move the football. We moved it up and down the field. Only punted there a few times. But JT was great at field goals tonight. Did a really nice job. He's been solid all year. And then kickoff team creating 2 turnovers, 2 fumbles they were able to get on. They were flying down the field. Dorian Jones, Jordan Watkins. These guys were flying down, causing turnovers, and we were able to get those balls back. And that's a big part of the game, obviously. But overall, great performance by really our whole team and our coaches. And again, as I mentioned, with so much adversity we've had to go through. So really proud of all those guys.
Go to Gary Graves.
Hey, Coach, obviously the defense was key for you. During the week, what kind of things did you do to kind of get them back in the swing of things with everybody that had been out?
Well, yeah, that's the first thing. We had all our guys back, for a full week on the defensive side of the ball. We haven't had that in a few weeks. And to get them all back out there flying around, that was a couple of things. But, number one, I think our staff did a great job just coming up with a really good plan of what they needed to do to stop Syracuse. We made it fun. There was a lot of competition that we were doing throughout the week on defense. Trying to create turnovers, trying to get tackles for loss, trying to get sacks. We had certain quotas we had to meet with that. If they met them, then the coaches had to do up, downs, push-ups right then on the spot during practice. The kids were fired up. It was just a lot of good fun, a lot of good energy, and that's what they had tonight. They came out tonight and played with a lot of great energy, and that's the way this game is meant to be played and should be played.
Cameron?
Yes, Scott. Cameron, the Courier-Journal. You played a lot of young guys today. Was that the plan all week? Was to play so many young guys, and a lot of guys made some big plays. Marvin Dowles with a fumble recovery. Jordan Watkins had a big day. Just your thoughts on their game as well.
Yeah, no question. Particularly when you get down toward the end of the season, you got to get these guys in, and we've mentioned it. We've had so many guys that were out throughout the last few games that they've been able to play a little bit, and then you get into a game and you want to play them a little bit more. But some big plays tonight. Jordan Watkins with some great third down catches tonight. Stripped a fumble on kickoff team, so he's all involved with that. He's a really good football player. I love the way he plays. Mitchell scored a touchdown tonight. His first time had some great catches. There was a lot of firsts, I thought, from a lot of guys. Got to play all 3 quarterbacks and let them get out, and they threw the football and completed some balls as well. Then defensively, got to play a lot of guys also on that side of the ball. So obviously, the more you can play, the better your team becomes. It inspires them throughout the week in practice to put that kind of effort into that. And, it's fun. It's fun to watch them go out and compete and make plays. And that's what they were able to do tonight. Ford didn't play tonight. So, the tight ends had to pick up the slack from them. And so you got to see, a couple more guys get out there making plays, catching the football.
To Michael.
Coach Michael McCammon, Cardinal Authority. You mentioned the turnovers in the first half, obviously a struggle there. Just talk about, I guess, your decision-making on to stick with Malik and let him fight through that in this game.
Yeah, he makes a lot of plays. There's no denying some of the things that he's able to do. The touchdown pass to 2-2 in the corner was a great throw. Third down scramble to get a first down. I think he had a couple of those tonight on a Q draw that he got a first down on. So he does a lot of good things. We obviously got to clean up some of the bad things that is happening, but we are continuing to work through that. And and he knows that. That's something we talk about obviously every week to get that cleaned up. But he does make a lot of plays. With his legs, with his arm. And so we're just, again, continuing to work on that and work in progress.
To Tim. Tim, you're muted right now.
Am I muted?
Tim, I'll come back to you next. Okay? We'll go back to Cam, and then we'll get you, Tim.
Yeah, Scott, you mentioned the young guys. Just in some ways, is this bode well? Like, you never want to lose guys, but you're able to get them a lot of playing time in the last few weeks. Does that bode well for the future, you think?
Well, you don't. You want to play. You want to have full power when you go in to play your games, but you also got to develop some young players. As you move forward throughout your program, the more guys that you can play and you feel good about playing, then it's going to just help your team, and it also helps practice throughout the week. Because these guys feel comfortable about what they're going to do once they get into the football game. So it certainly helps. And I think, we got some good young football players. I think they're just going to continue to get better and better as they continue throughout the rest of this season. It propels them as you go to the off season to be that much more hungry to go work in the weight room and work in the indoor during the wintertime and just do all the things that's going to make them better players.
We'll go to Kent Taylor. Kent Spencer, I'm sorry. Wrong Kent.
I tell you what, that's bad, Kenny. That's bad.
It's late, man.
Scott, you kind of mentioned it right at the beginning. How much do you think your kids needed a night like tonight, given the fact everything you guys have kind of gone through in these last 2-3 weeks?
Well, I can't think of anything better than what they got tonight. To come out and play the way they did, to get a big win. We've battled, in so many aspects, not just on the field. We've battled off the field, too, with a lot of different things that a lot of people don't even know what we're battling with on a daily basis. And so it's very rewarding for our guys to go out and get this kind of win, to get a shutout and, to win 30-0. It's incredible. They're hard to come by. We know winning is tough in college football, no matter who you are, no matter how talented you are. It's tough, and you got to battle to get these wins. And so, we needed it in the worst way.
Coach Reilly, a question for you. Do you have any thoughts on why Cunningham has been more turnover prone this season than last, and whether the other quarterbacks in the fourth quarter should be seen as anything other than mop-up duty in a blowout?
Well, I think some of it comes down to decision-making, obviously, and I think some of it has been, fourth downs. We're trying to fit the ball in there. Tonight, right there at the end, right before the drive, we don't have any timeouts. We're trying to take a shot down the sideline. The safety come over and makes a good play. So sometimes, decision to try to fit the ball in there, obviously you don't like it. We tried to throw a post to 2-2 tonight, and he got pressure. He got hit right as he's throwing it, so the ball's a little bit behind. Thought it was a great play by the corner. Had we had better protection, I think he's going to put it out there, and Tutu's probably going to score. So, so it's not all Cunningham. I think if you're just watching the game, you may say, "Oh, the quarterback's turning the football over." That's really not the case. Some of them are him and solely him, but there are some that you go back and look at. They're other players. It's protection, or it's a drop, or it's a tip ball, or something like that. So, obviously it takes a whole team sometimes when those things happen. But again, we're going to continue to work on it and clean them up. And and the other quarterbacks, we feel good about them. We could play them. I don't think they're not much off as if you had to put them in a game. I think those guys that came in did a really nice job tonight.
Take two more questions from Michael, then Cameron.
Coach, you've talked about how big it was to get this. What was the locker room like? It had to be a lot of fun and just kind of maybe some frustration leaving some of the guys.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, a lot of frustration leaving. It's almost, I don't even know what to say, really, quite honestly. It was awesome. It's awesome to see them dancing, celebrating, and having fun, as it should be when you win like that, to go out and do that. So they should celebrate. They should be rewarded with that celebration in the locker room, and then hopefully it propels us to come back out and be ready to go for next week.
Cameron, to close us out.
Okay. Yeah, Scott, I just wondered if you can just give me your thoughts on how nice it was to see Marvin Dallas out there, a guy who had thumb surgery a couple weeks ago, gets a big fumble recovery with basically one hand. Just kind of your thoughts on what he went through and getting him back out there on the field.
Yeah, no question. That was awesome to see him out there. He's been, he was really coming on big time in our special teams, particularly on kickoff team, with just flying down the field. He gets hurt at the Florida State game. It's a pretty gruesome injury on his thumb. It's an exposed wound on his thumb, and some things were messed up, and he had to have surgery. So he has the surgery, and he comes back, and it's all casted up, and he wanted to play, but he was not able to play. He finally felt really good this week. Was able to get him out there, man, and he made some big plays, and it was great to see. And on that note, I do want to mention one thing about Tutu Atwell. Here's a guy who missed. He's missed the last few weeks. And in a week, really last 2 weeks, you guys have seen so many guys opt out, decide I'm going to the NFL. All these things that, basically guys are saying, hey, I'm done playing with my teammates and I'm moving on. Well, here's a guy who couldn't wait to get back on the field, who all last week, this week, coach, I'm ready. But he physically wasn't, but mentally could not wait to get out there. And then tonight was able to get out there and play a little bit. Now, we didn't play him much. We held him out. Didn't want him to get touched, really, for that reason. But he wanted to go out there and play, and he goes and gets a touchdown. So I think what he did tonight speaks volumes about our program and what we want to be. The kind of players like that. He's a super talented player, but a great human being, has a great family that helped lead him in the right direction. And I just want to say that before we got off this thing tonight. But he's exactly what we want in this program.
Coach, congratulations, and thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you, guys.
We'll be joined first